You know, it's that time of year where I make videos about the top watches of 2025. I do it every year and I start thinking about the watches that I want to include in that video. And today's watch is one of the watches that will be in that video. In fact, I think it'll probably be the 37mm version. I have the 40mm to show you guys today. It's called the Ultra Chron Classic. It's from Longines. I have one hands-on, so let's flip the camera and take a look at a watch that I immediately fell in love with, the Longines Ultra Chron Clasp. So I've gotten a few watches in for review from Exquisite Timepieces, and there are two watches that I received this week that I have to have in my collection, and this is one of them. This is the 40mm version of the new Ultra Chron Classic from Longines. They also sent over a Seiko that I really love as well. It's the new speed timer automatics. This is something that when I first saw it, I was very intrigued by it, and then when I saw it in person, it kind of blew me away. And I immediately thought of Grand Seiko when I saw this watch. First off, it's a high beat, right? That's the whole point of the Ultra Chron. You see that little wavelength right there at the bottom of the dial. It's a little wave pattern. It's basically saying that this is an Ultra Chron. It also says Ultra Chron on the dial. Then it just says Longines at the top. That's it. And you have a crosshair. It's a silver dial that is sunburst. It is a very clean design. They make this in 37mm and 40mm. So this is actually the larger version. I think I would end up getting the 37mm version. This gets everything right, except for maybe one thing that I would do a little bit different. And we'll talk about that in just a few minutes as well. This immediately reminded me of something that Grand Seiko would make because it's such a clean design. The case is a really clean design. The 37mm I think would be more in line with something that Grand Seiko would do. The bracelet is very different, and that is not a bad thing. It's a multi-link bracelet that I think looks fantastic, but you are getting something that currently Grand Seiko only offer on very few models, and that is this double push button deployant buckle has on the fly micro adjust, which is a push button that is very, very smooth underneath. It works beautifully on this watch, and everything here feels beautifully finished as well. You have polishing on the sides, you have brushing on the case back and on the tops of the lugs and on the top of this bezel. But on the side of the bezel, you have polishing. You have a boxed sapphire crystal, you have a crosshair on the dial. It definitely looks like a vintage Longines, and that is because it is basically a reissue of a vintage watch. You even get vintage style applied indices. There's little black dashes on each one of those indices. There's black dashes in each one of the stick hands. There is no lume on here because this is a dress watch, and I guess that would be one of my complaints about this watch. I wish there was a little bit of lume, at least on the hands, so that you could see the time in the dark. It's not that big of a deal. I think it would work really well. You have the date at 3 o'clock. I could do without the date. I get it. This is pretty much made to be a very functional everyday watch. Having the date makes a lot of sense. You have a small crown on here, and it's kind of thin. So when you turn it on its side, you can see it's actually very thin, measuring in at around 10.8 millimeters thick. That's including that boxed sapphire crystal. So that is extremely thin. You have a long lug to lug of 47 millimeters, and then the case is spot on at 39.9 millimeters. 40 millimeters basically is what I measured, so essentially 40 millimeters, which is really good. And that lug to lug is a true lug to lug because you do have female end links on this bracelet, which is excellent. It wears very nice on wrist, and you do have a very nicely tapering bracelet, something that I think is kind of missed these days sometimes, and this tapering bracelet looks and adds to that vintage look and charm of this watch. You also have this beautiful clasp on here with the logo that's placed and actually applied to the back of the clasp. It is polished and brushed. You have that nice dual button release that is polished as well. You have polishing on the sides. All the links down the middle are polished, except it doesn't look flashy. In fact, I don't think it looks flashy at all. It's very understated and really well executed. And again, that 37mm version is a little bit even more understated than this, I would say, because it looks so good. I've seen both of them in person. I've held them both side by side, and technically I think maybe the 37mm might be small for some wrists. I have a 7.5 inch wrist. It really is not small. I wear smaller watches. I have a 38mm dive watch on right now. I'll show you that in a few seconds. I think the other complaint that I would have about this watch is the water resistance. It's only 50 meters. I know why they do that, because they made the diver first, the Ultra Chron diver, and they don't want to eat into that. So I think they could have put 100 meters of water resistance on this watch. Like I was saying, I have a 38mm dive watch on my wrist today. It's actually almost 39 millimeters. It's like 38.8 millimeters. This is my own design. I'm doing this with Wicked Watch Company, and this has a meteorite dial. It has some really great lume on it, and it has a moisture indicator style logo down here at the 6 o'clock position, something that I used for a little while on my channel. And that is also lumed. You get a fully lumed bezel, grade 5 titanium, clasp as well, that is custom, has some perlage on it. It's beautiful, and I'm very excited about this watch. And there is the Longines Ultra Chron Classic on my 7.5 inch wrist. It does look visually larger than 40 millimeters because you have this thin bezel, you have this flat case, and those longish lug to lugs for a 40 millimeter watch. So it does look a little bit larger than 40 millimeters. So I would say that 37 millimeter version is perfect for me. If you have a larger wrist than me, definitely go for this version. If you have a smaller wrist than me, definitely go for that 37 millimeter version. You will absolutely love it. Price on this watch is $4,000, which I think is a really good price for such a beautiful watch with a high beat movement that is beating away at 36,000 vibrations per hour. Again, this is the 40 millimeter version. It is thin at around 10.8 millimeters thick, and that lug to lug is around 47 millimeters. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. That's really, guys. Thank you for logging on. I will catch you guys in the next video.